Hi guys, and welcome back. My name is Lindsay, and I am the housewife historian, but I'm also a certified recovery coach who specializes in a dual diagnosis of people that are suffering with mental health and addiction issues. Today, I just want to talk briefly about maybe a recovery moment or thought for the day. I'm trying to open up a little bit more of an avenue on social media for recovery services, for people that are in recovery, for people who may need help with their recovery. It's not easy. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to start a whole new YouTube channel, if I'm going to just combine the two. So for right now, I'm just going to be posting to my regular YouTube channel. I'm going to make a tab, of course, a section for recovery services, recovery videos, yada yada yada. I would encourage you, if you are someone that is in recovery, to follow and subscribe. If you're somebody who is dealing with a loved one in recovery or that is an active addiction, again, this is a great place for you to find support as well. Um, I really feel like every time I am led to talk about this, that I have such a, oh, what is the word I'm looking for? I have like a lot of, I don't want to say feedback, but I have a good response. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly. I guess it's probably not a great thing because that just means more people dealing with, addiction in their life, whether it be themselves, whether it be a loved one, a son, a daughter, a parent. It just seems as if, it's, addiction is not biased, it's not sexist, it's not racist. It will affect anyone. It can affect anyone. And what we have probably seen over the last 10 years is the addiction, creep into the suburbs and into the homes of people, moms and daughters and I mean, it's everywhere, right? So many people that I know have passed. Um, it's really, I can't even think about it sometimes because some of the like most, you know, people that I don't want to say cared for the most, but some of the best people from my years of high school and, partying afterwards in my early 20s in a small town. Everybody knows everybody. And, there were those couple of people that were, uh, I don't want to say popular because that's not the word I'm necessarily looking for, but maybe they were just well loved, funny, um, always a good time. Somebody you would run into, you would want to sit next to at a baseball game or a football game, um, those sort of things, right? Someone you might run into at the bar on a holiday, like the night before Thanksgiving, right? Um, and that's kind of where I'm, at. And it's just sad, um, because so many people that I know and loved have passed away from, you know, the addiction. I I don't know. It's like hard to even really believe and hard to comprehend and hard to put in words. I think about it more so when I'm home and closer to the small town that I am from, and I think about their families and their children. And I don't know. I think how fortunate you must be if you are someone who didn't grow up in this era where everyone was overdosing and dying, and what it would be like to still have your friends that you had in high school, and what that might look like or be like, right? And so I think sometimes that's just, it's unfortunately, it's the reality of the situation. It's not a great reality. It's not to say that it's right, of course, but it is just the reality. So, um, I think it's important to, again, revisit a recovery thought for the day, and try to be thankful for all of our blessings, be thankful that we are here today, be thankful for our sobriety, be thankful for um, all the things, because I know that this can be a tough time of year for people. I think seasonal depression is so real and it really does affect people. And that's difficult, right? So I think that we should be trying to probably I don't want to say I would say we probably need to be looking at what we can do to make sure that we're taking care of our mental health, that we're checking in where we need to be checking in, and that we are, doing our part, because sometimes it's just the small things that can really make a difference in how we're feeling, how we're recovering, how we're, you know, doing things. And so I would encourage everyone to take the time to evaluate how you're feeling today or tonight, maybe at the end of the day before you go to bed. How am I feeling? How have I been reacting? How have I been treating my loved ones around me? That's usually a good indicator of how you actually are feeling. I saw a great episode of a woman who said something, and it made so much sense. It was super powerful. She said, people with mental health, um, like good mental health, are easygoing, right? They're easygoing. They don't, I'm sorry, watching my daughter get off the school bus. They don't give you a hard time if, plans change. They're just very easygoing, right? And that is the sign of a that someone that's mentally healthy. Their mental health is good. Somebody who doesn't have that, who just, it's my way or the highway, it's going to be this way or that way, yada, yada, yada. That's somebody that's not going to be in such a great mental health space. So maybe try to evaluate how you're feeling, how you're treating the people around you, and, and evaluate how you're feeling. And if you're not feeling great, then what are you going to do about it? Right? Because sometimes it's about being proactive, it's about making the change before, something bad happens. So, depending on only you know how you feel, and you can evaluate how you really feel, and only you can make the changes. So, you have to consider how you're feeling, what you think you need to do about that. Leave it in the comments. Be open for suggestions. Take constructive criticism, take suggestions, um, and make sure you're saying your prayers. And make sure you have a thankful, grateful heart. And if you have any questions, concerns, you guys can check out my recovery services, or you can email me at hwhist, the number 2, at gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.